What you are about to see will mesmerize you. Contrary to what some may think, that Grand Bahama Island may no longer be the diver's paradise it once was, we are about to show you otherwise.
Gonna be diving with UNEXO, doing some dolphin dives, some shark dives this morning, and gonna see what Grand Bahama has to offer on the water. Alright, so we're here to UNEXO now in Grand Bahama. The weather is beautiful, the boat's ready, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I may tell you guys go this way or separate or come a little bit closer. Obviously, if I'm shooting you, try not to exhale, try not to blow any bubbles as I'm actively taking photos of you.
We're headed out to Dolphin Flats and I'm really excited to get in the water.
I might be able to see your faces somehow if I get a little bit low and still see the dolphin. And then when they do the kissing, just obviously don't exhale. And then all the other swimming around shots, when I'm actually actively shooting, you'll see my flashes and probably hear it. Just try not to exhale. And then that's about it. So we're gonna jump in now for the scuba diving portion of the dolphin experience. We're gonna get some shots of the dolphins doing their thing with the models, tourists of today. And it's gonna be pretty cool. So we got the trainers in the water. We got a pretty good team, so it's always a plus when you're working with experienced divers for these kind of things.
The Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board set out on a mission to prove the point that Grand Bahama Island is still the premium dive location in the region that it always was.
The dive was pretty cool. It was cut a little bit short because we had some extra friends show up. And it was still a lot of fun, but we're gonna try switch it up a bit.
Everybody who works here and the people that come here really have one thing in common, that is a love of diving.
So that's pretty cool. We got some dolphin kisses at the surface. Dolphin was swimming around, nice interaction, and it was pretty cool. Grand Bahama has such a balanced ecosystem with the sharks being there. There's Kubera snappers down there, lionfish down there, and so this whole reef is pretty healthy. The first part of the day is over. We finished the dolphin experience. We're gonna go eat some lunch now at Sabor. And afterwards, we're gonna do a shark dive. So we're gonna be down there in Chinmil. We're gonna have all the sharks around. And this is one of the highlights of diving in Grand Bahama with UNEXO. So I'm excited to do this dive, see how these sharks react, see how they want to be today, because they change every day. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
If you want to dive with sharks, there are 2 feeding programs you can participate in on Grand Bahama Island. One with UNEXO and another off West End. Join André and the UNEXO team as they take you on their shark diving adventure.
We're out here to the shark site now, the UNEXO shark site. We're about to do a shark dive. It's one of the most famous dives here in Grand Bahama, the shark dive. We're gonna be diving with about 20 or so Caribbean reef sharks. About to do one of the world's best dives. What I like most about the Bahamas is the diversity of animals that we have here. So we have reef sharks right along the boat right here. When we go down, we're probably gonna see big black groupers. The visibility is amazing. So for me, this is all the key elements to have when you want to do an underwater photo shoot. And that's why I love shooting in the Bahamas, and especially in Grand Bahama with the shark population here. You're not gonna find this in any other country in the world, basically. A shark dive like this, how UNEXO runs it here in Grand Bahama, I think is one of the best ways you can have a shark experience to learn about these animals in a controlled environment.
We've taken kids while they're still in school, taught them how to dive. Some of them after school, after they graduate, come and work for us. And to this day, we have those kids, former kids, they're adults now, working here in capacities of, senior dive staff.
My name is Stefan Forbes. I am one of the dive instructors and boat captain here at UNEXO on Freeboard Grand Bahama Island. I've been working here for the last 4 years, full-time as a dive instructor, where I basically got all my certifications through UNEXO from not knowing anything to becoming one of their instructors here.
We keep seeing these young kids, and they come here, and maybe it's a hobby or maybe it's something cool to do, and in the end they make a career out of it.
I'm actually glad I started working for UNEXO because it allowed me to become a scuba diver for free, basically. And that's actually one of the things that I wanted to do all my life. We do take on students from one of the local high schools. They get trained for their last 3 years in high school, and the last year they actually do a job training program. It's an outlet for them.
Today I'm diving with UNEXO. I've been working off and on with UNEXO probably since I was either 16 or 18 years old, somewhere in there. I think I first started out in their photo video because I wasn't a dive master yet, and so and the equipment room was full, and I had an interest in photography first.
Grand Bahama Island is still the premium dive location in the region that it always was.
This morning we completed 2 dives. The first one was on Shipwreck. The original name of the wreck is Cinematographer, and it was donated as an artificial wreck by a gentleman who lost his wife and decided to sink their private yacht in her memory.
It's a small wreck, but it's still pretty interesting. The marine life around the wreck is really healthy. It's kind of close to the shark site too, so that's pretty cool. So the sharks from the shark site came over here with us. So we were able to get sharks, we were able to get wrecks, we were able to get reef all in one dive. The coral reef here, again, is healthy. I know I've been saying that over and over, but that's Grand Bahama. I'm sorry if it's like that. It's just healthy coral reef everywhere we go, so it's really refreshing to see that. We're going to dive now the Sea Star wreck. This wreck is apparently known for a lot of fish life in the midship and closer to the stern. So that's a really good combination to be able to get similar effect of what you would get as a coral reef with the shipwreck. And shipwrecks are artificial reefs anyway, so they really make habitats for fish and marine life to inhabit. So we're hoping to get all that on camera with the divers diving around everything. So we just finished Sea Star wreck, and that was incredible. It's one of the most unique shipwrecks I've ever dove in the Bahamas, and to know that's here in Grand Bahama, that's a wreck I definitely want to do again. There was a lot of really big predator fish on that reef, like 60-pound black groupers, 60-pound cubera snappers, big tiger groupers, big hogfish. Visibility is great. There's sharks there. And it really just shows like it's such a healthy marine ecosystem all around these different dive sites in Grand Bahama, and this Sea Star wreck was definitely a perfect example of that.
Sea Star has a very deep story both above and below the water. It was originally a fishing vessel, if we want to call it like that, that was impounded by Bahamas custom for the transportation of illegal goods, and then it was picked up by an active instructor at UNEXO called Kathy O'Brien, who decided to make it an artificial reef. Unfortunately, Kathy passed away on November 25th, 2001.
Welcome to Paradise Cove. We're located here in Dead Man's Reef on Grand Bahama Island, one of the premier places to snorkel here on the island, where you can come and enjoy a lot of sunshine. You can definitely get a lot of nice ocean, as well as the beautiful seas. Paradise Cove is really the best place to do offshore snorkeling here on the island, where you can see turtles, stingrays. We have a marvelous reef system right out here, a shallow reef on the inside, about 4 to 5 feet deep. So even the novice snorkeler can come and enjoy. And then for those a little bit more experienced, they can go behind the islands, and we have a deep reef about 15 to 30 feet deep.
We found some turtles and some coral reefs. We visited the reef balls out here by Paradise Cove, and we had a lot of diversity in fish, where we had sergeant majors and we had yellowtails, we had Bermuda chubs, we had green turtles, we had barracuda, really big barracuda, and it was a lot of fun to snorkel around and see how much of a diverse ecosystem is so close to offshore. We weren't even a mile offshore, and we were able to see all of those things I just listed within maybe 5 minutes of being in the water. We had a baby turtle that really hung around and was able to get those perfect shots with Annabelle and the turtle swimming around. We saw some stingrays also, which were really cool. Stingrays were about 3 feet or so. They didn't really want to hang around with us, but we had the turtles to steal the show.
I'm Annabelle Purvis. I was a free diver on today's shoot, and I'm currently studying marine biology at Dalhousie University. Today was amazing with André and the rest of the team. I had so much fun working with him along with David and Barry, just trying to figure out all the shots here at the beautiful Paradise Cove. My favorite part was seeing the turtles, because the turtles here are phenomenal, basically coming up to you and you could touch them. But it's only one of the most amazing places on this island, Grand Bahama, where I grew up.
Barry Smith, he and I, we normally go spearfishing, and as soon as we see a fish, you would go down and you're on the fish. But working with André, like I said, it was different. We had to pause for a while, we had to make sure the great shot was in, and then it was, shooting the shot on the fish.
On Grand Bahama Island, we have literally an unexplored reef system waiting to be discovered from people like André Musgrove and visitors coming to the island looking to explore some of the unique underwater systems that we have on the island.
The healthy population of sharks here is incredible, and it's really good to see, because a healthy shark population means a healthy fish population on the whole. And I can tell that clearly on the reef here in Grand Bahama.
We hope you've enjoyed the exciting diving opportunities we've shared with you on Grand Bahama Island, along with André Musgrove, UNEXO, and the divers at Paradise Cove. We invite you to come join us for the dive adventure of your life on Grand Bahama Island.